Hey, welcome to Neville Quest. My name's Rob, and I'm delighted that you have clicked on my channel to see what this is about. A little bit about me. I grew up in the Bible Belt as a Protestant, evangelical, swimming in the Reformed circles. There are probably some big names in that circle if you're familiar with those circles that I studied under. I studied Bible at the undergrad and master's level. Later on in my life, I wandered far from the faith of my childhood, even the faith of my 20s, and really ruined my life in some pretty stupid ways. And I found that after getting serious about taking my life seriously, taking it by the horns, and getting some help, I decided it was really important that I return and try to find an authentic faith expression. As I was considering all of it, I have all this experience with the Bible, but then again, I didn't feel like the historical interpretation of it, the literal interpretation of it, worked for me anymore. And I didn't want to throw all that experience away. In fact, I still felt so much fondness and that there was so much truth in various passages in the Bible, and still just a fondness for the book that I couldn't just throw it away. And so I discovered Neville a little over a year ago and started really diving into his information and wanted to understand it more. I've spent a lot of this time just reading and processing and thinking through, and I felt like it was really time for me to take all of this information and turn it into something and offer it into the world to be something of value to those who also, like me, might still be searching. The goals of this channel are I would like to read through every major published work of Neville Goddard's. I'd like to provide illustrations, my own interpretations, and practical action steps. Really, this is what I'm doing as I'm reading through. I'm not just going to read through yet again another chapter of Neville's and think, oh, that's really interesting. Wow, let me listen to another thing. I want to actually take steps now to be a doer of this word and not a hearer who deludes himself. I'd also like to foster a community that contributes to the value of Neville's teaching. I know there are many pockets of people who really have gotten into Neville's stuff. And for my own part, if there is a rallying point for that, for people who are like me, coming out of my background and are also finding value, I'd like to provide that point. I'd like to work in sync with other helpful content providers and producers. I'd like to provide value for those who are in the same theological boat as I am. On that note, on other helpful content producers, I'm going to throw this out there of people who've really helped me along my journey just by the content that they've created. I'm not in any way sponsored by them, and at the most, I think I've gotten likes and comments a few times by each of these guys. So Josiah Brant, School of Imagination, if you look him up, I'll see if I can figure out how to put links and stuff in descriptions. I'm still new to building YouTube stuff here. But Josiah Brant helped me so much when I really started looking into the subconscious and how to program it, how to reprogram the subconscious. And that's how I came across Neville's stuff in the first place, was through Josiah Brant's excellent reading and very careful, winsome reading of Neville's works. He doesn't do commentary very much. He just reads it straight up, along with little call-outs where he'll repeat things that he found important. And I love the guy. His stuff is amazing, and he's doing really good work with his School of Imagination. And it's just a wealth, a library of information available. Definitely recommend, if you're just getting into Neville's material, I could not point you to a better place as far as getting good recordings of his stuff. Josiah Brant, far and away the best out there. No offense to Brian Scott, who's also doing it, but Josiah is off the chains. I love his stuff. Joseph Ally, Divine Imagination, if you've ever seen his stuff. Hello, this is Joseph Ally. Welcome to my channel. You ever heard that before? That's Joseph Ally. What I like about him, he doesn't do readings of Neville's works, but rather he's also trying to work it out. And he has a story. He has a history of putting this stuff into practice that I find compelling and has helped me on my own journey. So Joseph Ally is very practical. He's very he's got the cred, in my opinion, of somebody who has tried lots of other things and found stuff that works. So from that standpoint, I highly recommend Joseph Ally if you're wanting practical steps and things like that immediately. Obviously, I'm wanting to build my own helpful stuff there, but I do not have the experience that Joseph does. So I definitely point in his direction and say the man is awesome. Definitely listen to his stuff. And Brian Scott, Reality Revolution, he popped up on my radar simply because I think he was coming at it from another angle called reality transurfing, and honestly I don't know what all that is or what it totally means, but he started reading a lot of Neville's stuff as well and provides his own commentary for it, along with some really awesome, trippy, psychedelic images and stuff that you can watch, so you don't burn in your screen if you're watching on your phone or whatever. So Brian Scott, also very helpful. He has a lot of other people that he's also reads. So, if you're looking for just straight from the tap Neville stuff, I'd really say Josiah and Joseph would be the best to go to. But you may find that Brian Scott resonates with you. So his stuff, Reality Revolution, could also be useful. On that note, finally, just wanted to say that I am not, as the time of this recording, I'm not an expert. Okay. I am a seeker right now. I am using YouTube as kind of a public journal to process and work through what I find helpful and valuable in Neville. It motivates me to condense. I feel like I'm good at condensing complicated information into bite-sized chunks. And so I'm just a seeker at the time of this writing. I don't know right now how you should live your life. I don't, at the time of this writing, this video, I don't have a course or coaching sessions. In the future, if I find that I'm getting better and better at this, that may be something that I would be interested in doing. Right now, I'm honestly just laying it out. I'm trying to challenge everything I can about Neville's teaching because I'm looking for the truth. And I want to find it, and I want to find a truth that's authentic, that actually works, and turns my life from just generally chaos into something that I can find value and create value in and share that with others. There are, as I said here, other great content providers with their own experience and methods. For me personally, I'm just at a place where I'm tired of playing games. And if you'd like to join me, again, I am not promising to you that I have all the answers, but what I can promise you is I will do the best that I can to explain Neville in a relatable, accessible way. And I believe that Neville's stuff is very valuable, but I also know it can be a little bit confusing. It can be a little deep. It can be a little on the mystical and esoteric side. And yet at the same time, I feel like when it's understood, it is enormously valuable. So that's all. That's my introduction. Welcome to Neville Quest, as I'm calling my channel. I'm seeking to go on this journey, and for anybody who wants to join me, very glad that you're here, and I will see you. I'll create playlists, by the way, of the different books that I'm doing right now. It's Your Faith is Your Fortune, and we'll go from there. So thank you so much for listening, and see you on the journey.